Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to inform this August House about the Fiji National Action Plan to prevent violence against women and girls, which the Fijian government, through the National Women's Machinery, has committed to develop. But firstly, I would also like to take this time to remember the many Fijian women and girls who have been murdered, injured, abused, or otherwise harmed by men who profess to have loved them. Fijian women and girls experience violence and abuse at the hands of men they know, often in their own homes and often repeatedly, sometimes over many years, if not a lifetime. We know this violence by many names and in many forms: family and domestic violence, intimate partner violence, emotional abuse, sexual assault, sexual harassment, rape, femicide, and others. Honorable Speaker, the prevalence of violence against women in Fiji is amongst the highest in the world, with almost 2 out of 3, 64%, women who have been subjected to physical or sexual violence in their lifetime, double the global average, which is 1 out of 3 women, and most cases are perpetrated by an intimate partner. The murder of women and girls, especially in the context of domestic and family violence, is often the final result of a long history of abuse. In 2019 alone, 10 Fijian women were killed by their intimate partners. It is important to recognize and acknowledge that there are not only painful personal stories behind these statistics, but there are also attitudes, social norms, and cultural complacency. Attitudes that are embedded in gender inequality, gender discrimination, and patriarchy. To me, knowingly or not, most of us give our boys license to act abusively, and it's up to girls to adjust accordingly. This is a nature. This isn't nurture. We dismiss boys' aggression as a function of their masculinity, and we rationalize it. The more we conform to gender stereotypes, masculine, strong, assertive, and powerful, and feminine, the National Action Plan will explain, using data and evidence, on what the root causes of violence against women and girls are in Fiji, and what additional contributing factors that makes the violence more likely to happen. You see, Honorable Speaker, when dealing with violence against women and girls, it is critical that any formulation of policy is based on data and evidence. Data and evidence must always inform and advise policy change. So it worries me as a member of this House and as a Minister for Women to have read online on Honorable Tambuya's page a petition to bring on domestic violence to the House. I say this not to criticize, Honorable Speaker. I say this because of the importance of this socially to us as leaders of this House. There is already in place a work plan by experts on this topic. We have our intentions. It may be good, but please, I ask the honorable member to think about the lives of the women in this country, to consider the fact that there are already experts on domestic violence that are already working towards a national plan for this. As a leader of this House, I would think that we would all come together and support what the experts of this country and government is doing in relation to putting together a national plan. The national plan, Honorable Speaker, will further outline the key strategies and actions needed to address the factors that cause and contribute to violence against women and girls. It will also look at how the different environments in Fiji, where we live, work, learn, socialize, pray, and play, can be key settings for prevention activities, including education, health, and social services, sports and recreation clubs and spaces, faith-based contexts, and the list goes on. It will also map out the different stakeholders and their roles, responsibilities, expertise, and capacities to prevent violence against women and girls. Honorable Speaker, the National Action Plan will be accompanied also by a national communication strategy and an implementation plan to ensure alignment on consistent messaging on prevention across a variety of channels to reach multiple levels of society in Fiji. Furthermore, the National Action Plan will be developed in a consultative and participatory manner, engaging citizens, both government and non-government actors alike, with responsibility for various stages of design and implementation assigned appropriately. This means a series of nationwide consultations and dialogue with Fijian women, men, girls, and boys, stakeholders from key sectors and communities will be undertaken in 2020 to inform the development of the National Action Plan. The key components of the Fiji National Action Plan include: 1, an explanation of why violence happens in Fiji. In order to solve a national problem, there must be an evidence-based understanding for what causes it. The National Action Plan will explain, using data and evidence, what the root cause of violence against women and girls is in Fiji, and what additional contributing factors that make the violence more likely to happen. 2, key strategies to prevent violence in Fiji. This will outline the key strategies and actions needed to address the factors that cause and contribute to violence against women and girls. Some examples of the types of strategies in the National Action Plan may include evidence-based policies and programs that promote respectful relationships, group education with boys and men, sometimes in combination with women and girls, community engagement, ending the disrespectful portrayal of women in the media, and leading on public education and social media campaigns. 3, key settings for prevention. This will look at how the different environments in which people live, work, learn, socialize, and play can be key settings for prevention. 4, stakeholder roles and responsibilities. This will map out the different stakeholders and their roles, responsibilities, expertise, and capacities to prevent violence against women and girls in Fiji. The roles and responsibilities will be linked to the implementation plan. 5, implementation plan. Implementation plan will be outlined step by step, including the national outcomes and targets, and explain how the outcomes will be achieved and the targets met during the 2020-2025 period. 6, performance monitoring, reporting, and evidence. There will be a rigorous approach to monitoring and evaluating the effectiveness of the National Action Plan, and the success of each outcome and target will be measured over time. This will contribute to building a strong evidence base for Fiji. 7, national communication strategy. The National Action Plan will be accompanied by a national communication strategy and an implementation plan to ensure alignment on consistent messaging. 8, costed implementation plan. A clear and costed budget to match the implementation plan will also be developed. Honorable Speaker, the National Action Plan will be developed engaging both government and non-government actors alike, with responsibility for various stages of design and implementation assigned appropriately. Based on the main recommendations from the Prevention Advisory Group meeting, the following key steps will be taken. A series of nationwide consultations and dialogue in 2020 to inform the development. This will be led by the Ministry of Women, Children and Poverty Alleviation and partners. It will be inclusive, ensuring the voices of all women and girls, and remote and rural women and girls. The Prevention Advisory Group will provide technical guidance to the Fijian government in the development and rollout of the National Action Plan. A core working group nominated from within the Prevention Advisory Group will further accelerate action and provide strategic and technical oversight and endorsement of the National Action Plan and processes as it develops. The Ministry plans to complete the development of the National Action Plan by the end of this year, 2020. UN Women is the primary technical partner to the Ministry in developing this plan, and UN Women's technical and financial support is provided through the Pacific Partnership to End Violence Against Women and Girls, funded by the European Union and the governments of Australia and New Zealand, with support from UN Women Fiji Multi-Country Office. In addition to UN Women, the Ministry is receiving further technical support from the Government of Australia. Honourable Speaker, a national conversation that honours and does justice to the experience of women and girls who have for too long suffered in silence, some paying the ultimate price, is very crucial in ensuring we all take responsibility in informing and executing the process. The extent and depth of change required to end violence against women is daunting. It will not happen overnight, but the time for change is here and now. It is time to further our collective action, and that takes all of us working at the same time towards the same goal, following one process. I'm hopeful and dedicated. I'm optimistic that we may arrive much sooner than we expect to our desired destination, gender equality. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.